Hello and welcome back to Packs and Recreation, and this is the last step in the Ravnica saga with the Simic. And if you've been paying attention, there is a reason why the Simic has always been moving around, and the real world reason is because they are 10 and I couldn't fit 10 in like way that occupied the screen. But the in-lore reason why the Simic was always moving around and now is here is because Simic is all about adapting to survive, right? That's why I did that. It's not because of a screen constraint. Like the Simic are always adapting and evolving, and that's the philosophy. After all, is green and blue, and it comes from, this is the PreRelease from Gatecrash, by the way. They are the scientists of life, right? So if Izzet is about progress and science, they are kind of the same, but for life itself, which it makes sense because it's green. So they had the same concerns as Selesnya and Gruul in terms of like, oh no, the city is expanding too fast and nature can't keep up. But Gruul is the approaching is interesting how green adapts into the different colors, right? Similar to red. I think that the other colors are more inflexible when it comes to, but like green, at least in the Ravnica spectrum, like green in Golgari is more like life and death, right? So it's like the cycle, blah, 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 and the ambition, the black is the ambition part. Selesnya and Gruul both treat green as nature. And Simic is a mix of both, is life and nature. So they're all about adapting to, by using science, so blue, to adapt to Ravnica, but not only to adapt to Ravnica and to give better chances to nature, but to allow life itself to evolve at the same pace that the city is growing, so that nature can actually fight back in terms of evolution. So that's interesting. They're always adapting, and that's why I moved it in the screen, get it? But the Simic are interesting in the sense that they are a very ugly duck in Ravnica. People know about them and they are kind of okay about them, but they are like not embedded in the city workings. They are like outside and they cure diseases and stuff like that, so that's cool. But at the same time, they experiment with things and do these weird hybrid creatures that are like half spider, half something else, because it's adapting evolutions, right? And but that's the thing. As with all the other guilds, you have the good side and the bad side. The good side is that, yeah, progress for life and let's cure diseases and let's do this and that. And then the bad side, which is you have weird guys in here that just do weird experiments, that they create chimeras and stuff like that. So it's all around the place. It's all over the place. And in between that balance is this trust and distrust that the people of Ravnica have for them. So when there is this influx point where they change Guildmaster for Merfolk, because we were missing Merfolk in Ravnica, so that there is that. Because apparently there was a water city underneath, and they became the new rulers of it. But they agreed on helping people. People started liking them again. Then they see that they kind of overreached. Then they dislike them. They help fighting against Nicol Bolas, and finally they are now in a very weird spot, and interesting things can come from this combination, because when the Phyrexians invaded, they saw the Phyrexians and the glistening oil as interesting, and that actually gave us weird things, right? And God knows if they are still trying to figure out stuff with the glistening oil, right? So that, and if they think that the Phyrexians are the best next evolution as well. So we don't know. They are not dead like others, and they are not governing like others, but they are kind of there, outsiders that oddly fascinated by Phyrexians and glistening oil. The Simic combine. Let's see. Please. The Simic combine. Let's see the letter of invitation. Moment by moment, we evolve. We are all swimmers in the womb, crawlers in our youth, and walkers since maturity. But this is not our final form. This is not even my final form. We of the Simic Combine understand that life is change, and since change can be engineered, life can be altered. The Simic Combine has held its collective breath for this moment. This world is poised to evolve, not through arbitrary laws or senseless destruction, but through the advancement of the potential of living beings. Our methods, once thought strange or unnatural by the other guilds, will be vindicated as the proper way forward for Ravnica. Our guild is dedicated to seeking out the greatest forms that life can inhabit. We welcome your decision to join us in this venture, elevate life to its greatest potential, accelerate your personal growth from your aquatic beginnings to fully evolve wisdom and beyond. Take the reins of change and help us guide Ravnica toward a living future. Zagana of Zonal 1, Speaker's Chamber, Simic Combine. So there is that. And then for the goals that you will have in this pre-release, you have: we of the Simic live to stretch the boundaries of life itself. Do your part by performing the series of bioexperiments specified below. Mark well your findings. Your achievements may help us sculpt new and remarkable forms of life. So, when you evolve a creature, say, "Patience, my pet, soon you shall feast." Evolve a creature twice in one turn. Control a mutant or creatures with 5 or more creature types among them. Have 5 or more +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. Win a match against an opponent from a different guild. High-five a fellow Simic member. Attend a guild meeting with other Simic members. End the game by dealing damage with a multicolor creature or spell. Cast or destroy a legendary creature. Deal damage to an opponent with key rune or of any guild. And activate 2 abilities of a guild mage of any guild in the same turn. Make it official. Choose your guild in planeswalkerpoints.com. And Jace tells you to continue the battle for your guild. So, the icon for the Simic, which is fun because it's a tree and it's kind of a wave at the same time. Still not as in your face as the Selesnya one. That is literally the 2 icons from green and white, because this is closer to fire actually, to the red symbol, but whatever. And a very weird die because it's green and blue with the gate crash symbol. Now, 5 boosters with repeated images, which is sad. The theme booster, that is kind of doesn't have too much pressure, I will say, and the other 2 right here. So let's open the theme booster. In case you're new to this, the theme booster was a thing so that you actually always get cards from the pre-release that you picked, so that you can actually play in the flavor of that guild. Fathom Mage for 2, 1 green and 1 blue. Creature, Human Wizard, 26th of January 2013, more than 10 years ago. It's a 1/1 that has evolved. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And whenever a +1/+1 counter is placed on Phantom Mage, you may draw a card. Not a bad card at all. Simic Guildgate. Enter and comprehend the perfection of orchestrated life. And a Gyre Sage for 1 and 1 green is a 1/2 elf druid that has evolved, and tap, add 1 green to your mana pool for each +1/+1 counter on Gyre Sage. So not bad cards, not bad combination, I will say. Elusive Crassis, Hindervines, Mind Eye Drake, Greenside Watcher, Way of the Thief, Burst of Strength, Cloudfin Raptor, Shamble Shark, there you go, Shark and Crab, Totally Lost, there's our boy, Febblepoof, Wildwood Rebirth, Leeline Phantom, Bioshift, and Keymaster Rogue. Not bad. And we have Febblepoof, so that's always great. Boosterino numero 1. And the drama commences. In this saga, for me, trying to open a booster in a not dramatic faction, realizing that boosters that are more than 10 years old are frail, and as they are both old and the standards were different apparently. There you go. Structural collapse. Paranoid delusions. Zurta swine. Wildwood rebirth. Foundry Street denizen. Corpse blockade. Armored transport. Syndicate enforcer. Burst of strength. Zamek guildmage, which is a Simic, but I guess that's how you pronounce the name in Merfolk or something. Humming lightning. Interesting. Not white, not blue in the whole booster. Experiment 1. Huh. It has evolved. Is a 1/1 green human ooze for a 1 green, and you have evolve, and then you remove 2+1/+1 counters, and you're regenerated. Okay. Okay. Not the best thing, not the worst thing. Just a thing. Robobolt Raiders is a Gruul card for 1 and red, 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 or green, 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 or whatever you want in this combination. It's a 3/3 human warrior that says whenever Robobolt Raiders attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each attacking creature you control. Okay. This city will perish and the Gruul will cheer as the boar god crushes the last bricks into dust. Nikia of the Old Ways. Not a bad card, I have to say. Keymaster Rogue in foil, there you go, the blue card, a forest, and a soldier token, a Boros soldier, and the Gatecrash Pro Tour. Booster 2. Drama. Can I open it like this? No, they are not that badly. They are falling into pieces, but they are not that badly falling into pieces. Like, actually, I can do this, maybe? No, I'm just suffering here. Like, there is no reason. Yes, I should have used a knife. Awful. Basilica Screecher. Way of the Thief. Spire Tracer. Syndic of Tides. Ruination Worm. Paranoid Delusions. Verdant Haven. Sage's Row Denizen. Act of Treason. Balustrade Spy. Gift of Orzova. Okay. Weird, because that felt like a new Capena card. That's weird. Hindervines again. Simic Flux Mage has evolved and move a +1/+1 counter from a Simic Flux Mage into target creature. Useful. And another Fathom Mage, but with a different art. So the other is the special art. A Plains and a code for Booster Draft, and Ultra Pro being the best of friends. Now for Gruul. Now for Gruul, now for Glory. Now the single booster is going to be open in a decent way in this video, guys. I'm sorry. I am trying to do something, it doesn't work. I won't let it go. Drama. Drama ensues. Okay. Massive Raid. Metropolis Sprite. Angelic Edict. Mortus Strider. This card is not that bad, to be honest. Shamble Shark. With Flash and Evolve. This card is interesting, but I can't see like a proper use for it. Maybe a commander deck that is all about evolve and stuff like that. Court Street Denizen. Naturalize. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Not bad for green. Armor Transport. Totally Lost. Our boy. Boros Guildgate. Thrall Parasite. The hunger of a vampire and the subtlety of a tax collector. Aren't they the same? Pam, 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 pam. Simic Charm. There you go. We were missing this one. Choose one. Target creature gets +3/+3 at the end of turn, or permanents you control gain hexproof. Or at the end of turn, or return target creature to its owner's hand. We measure our progress in heartbeats. Interesting. Cinder Elemental. X damage to target creature. And Mystic Genesis. There you go. A Simic card for 2, 1 green, and 2 blue. It's an instant that says counter target spell, put a XX green ooze creature token on the battlefield where X is that spell's converted mana cost. So this is more or less okay. I mean, not super duper, but the Simic can grow anything out of a puddle of sludge. I just hope they never join forces with the Golgari. Which actually is not a bad idea. Forest and extortion and backroom dealings are all in a day's work for the Orzhov Syndicate, where everything has a price and strings are always attached. Choose your guild at guildsofravnica.com. Second to last, I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, these boosters are cursed. Yeah, it has too much glue on the corners. God damn it. In case you're new to the channel, you may be thinking, why is he trying to do that way? Like, is he some sort of malevolent dude that is just trying to ninja the boosters so that he can glue them together to resell them? It's like, no, not at all. Like, if it was the case, I would just destroy them after I see that I can't. But it's just because I want to preserve them. And obviously, I just will pick the 5 best looking ones from Gatecrash and from Return to Ravnica, but still. I'm just a person with issues. Angel Edict, Shadow Alley Denizen, Scab Clan Charger, Martial Glory, Primal Visitation, Skyblinder Staff. If bats are the only thing between me and a mountain of ores of coins, then I am about to be a very rich thief. Skinbrand Goblin. Last Thoughts. Gruul Guildgate. Court Street Denizen. Agoraphobia. Hinderhives, or Hindervines, or Hindervines. Hindervines? I don't know. Viashino Shanktail. Gruul. The Viashino, that species that doesn't show that much. Stomping Ground, a shockland for Gruul. Mountain Forest. As Stomping Gruul enters the battlefield, pay 2 life, if not, interstab. Root, ruins, and room to fight. All the comforts of home. A swamp. And if a player has to draw a card but his or her library is empty, that player loses the game. It will be a shame if this unfortunate fate befell anyone you happen to play against. And a Planeswalker points card, and then the last booster, which is Gruul themed. Ironic, being this a Simic box. Well, more or less, not my worst work, not my best work. Cloudfin Raptor, Simic, well, not bad. Aerial Maneuver, Spire Tracer, Shadow Slice, Primal Visitation, Death Cult Rogue, Guildscorn Ward, okay, Furious Resistance, Riot Gear, Ivy Lane Denizen, Dying Wish, which is not bad. When a enchanted creature dies, target player loses X life, and you gain X life where X is his power. Not bad. Fortress Cyclops, Boros card. Whenever Cyclops attacks, it gets +3/+0. Whenever it blocks, it gets +0/+3. Not bad, not amazing. Simic Flux Mage, there you go. And again, Stomping Ground, a Shockland for Gruul. Not bad. 2 Shocklands. The only bad thing is that it's the same twice. Swamp, and actually the same ad card, so they kind of repeated the last pattern again. And that was the Simic pre-release from Gatecrash. Now, you tell me what you think about the pools, and also tell me what you think about the Simic. Do you agree with their way of living? Do you think that they are right, they are wrong? I feel like they are floating in the sense that Izzet and all the others kind of operate with Ravnica or against Ravnica, and these dudes against in the sense that it's like, for example, the Gruul and the Celestia are like fighting the civilization, and they, because they are like nature, but these guys are like on their corner improving life and evolution, which is very a thing. I don't know. So I don't know, they feel a lot like they are just there hanging on the corner, and they're very dangerous at the same time. So they may be, if lore was important in modern Magic, they may be the cause for a very big problem nowadays, because they are playing with glistening oils. So, or at least they should be playing, because that makes sense for them, right? It's the next step in evolution. Although, since Phyrexians are mechanical, that wouldn't be biological, but they are creatures, so that's bio, right? So up to interpretation. What do you think? Let me know down below. And with this, we finish the Return to Ravnica / Gatecrash pre-release saga, going back to Ravnica the good old way, and not with some things without lore and stuff. What do you think about Ravnica? What do you think about that plane? What do you think about the old way of doing pre-releases versus the new one? Let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see more sagas like this. And remember, there is a playlist with all the stuff that we've done so far. Thank you very much for making this journey with us. And I hope to see you next time on PAX and Recreation. Bye.